years. Some of the features in Canva is they just have some tools that help facilitate, make it easier to put things together. Obviously, content still is you got to bring that, and we have a ton of that information, but Canva has some tools to make it look nice, I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
physically, and visually more appealing, and to do it quickly, I would say.
yeah.
Um, so one of the things that I like is so this is under some of the projects that have been created as far as recent designs. And the one thing that's nice is that when you go in to create things, you have this spot called brand, and
Yeah.
that's over here. And this we have our logos in here that have been in put in, and I think those have been put in by Darren or other staff members from
Uh-huh.
the when you are creating a presentation, you can have that at your disposal. Um, Going back to just the homepage and creating a design, and through the content, there's a space called templates.
Yeah.
These have a whole bunch of things, and so what they have is you can do a presentation, which is here. You can do just a doc, like if you want to give it an announcement or something like that. I've never used any other ones for like a poster. We've done some stuff to do announcements, but I haven't used any of these for an Instagram post or I have done a flyer before. And I've never done a video, so I'd be curious to kind of see those. But you can see what they got. If I just click on presentations, should go here. They have a search function up at the top, and this is just kind of
Yeah.
this, and you can kind of just click, or you can just scroll through this area, and you have a whole host of these.
Hmm.
Um, and these are, you know, from different fields, people doing things like marketing. It could be a small business owner. It could be presenting a thesis for your PhD, type a whole bunch of stuff. So it is about finding kind of the right one. And, I remember when we were at P&HP, I think you and I joined in on a presentation by Ed Weisbart. And, I think the rule of thumb is always keep it simple, but on the margins, we want to make it look appealing, right?
Yeah.
That just goes, I would just call that out as, no more than 3 or 4 points to a slide, very minimal content, and be able to just to speak to it.
Yes.
But let's just jump into one of these and let's just do maybe this minimalist pitch deck here. And if we go here, we're just going to customize this. As it takes a tiny bit sometimes to load with everything.
I'm just following along on my Canva and just doing what you're doing.
Perfect, perfect. So just to ground you, each of these templates that they have has a certain sets of slides that they've already done, and they have different layouts that you can do. Um, and there's usually about 20 of them or so. Yeah, it looks like that. And so they go all the way from an introduction, welcoming page, all the way to kind of wrapping up, and you can kind of pick and choose with that. Um, then over here, you have different designs at the top. Um, and so that's, let's say you wanted to add another, maybe you like this slide, right? And you want to add it in. You can just add it again and drop it in to a spot that you want to do it. The
Uh-huh.
other is that you can just go in between these slides. You can see if you hover in between, you can hit a plus add page,
Yeah.
or you do a transition to, which I think become a little bit too much. I mean, it's all personal preference. Some people have very elaborate transitions,
Hmm.
get very cute about it. But let's say, you just wanted to duplicate the page. So sometimes I've had um, like a graphic display of, let's
Hmm.
say, for instance, spending in a certain sector, and you want to show over time. So you just
Hmm.
duplicate the page just like you would in like, um, uh, um, PowerPoint, right? So
Uh-huh.
when you can click this three ellipses here,
Hmm.
and change a few with that. So you can change the layout, you can keep it blank, you can also just duplicate the page. So if you right click over a second, you can just hit duplicate the page and it'll put it in. It's the same thing. And so those transitions, you can change just one item or highlight that. So let's say you wanted to just delete all this. Um, and then so the first page is you're going here, but then you go to the next and then you add in this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of the general layout of things of where you get slides and everything.
Hmm.
There's elements. So let's just work on this page. So this element has a feature where there's a box here that has a picture, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you don't like that picture. Let's say you want to put in uh, um, healthcare providers picture. So you
Uh-huh.
type search function, and then what you can do is you can have graphics. So you can just put in and you can drag and drop and you can put it in there, right? And
Oh
now
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
let's say you want a real picture, you want a photo. These are all stock stuff. You just drop it over that image. That one. And then it goes into there, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's easy to add. They have things that are already set up, right?
Hmm.
Have graphics, they have photos, they have videos, they have shapes that you can do as well. Um, so that's kind of a cool feature to put those in. If we go into these shapes, let's say you want to put another picture somewhere on here, or you want to put another box, you just drag, and then you can drag and drop. And so let's see
Yeah.
if we it doesn't want to do that, but you can, let's see if we could get it into that box. Usually it's really easy to kind of drag and drop. It's not doing it right now, but um, let's just delete that picture. So that's our, the other thing is if you wanted to do uh, a grid or a table or something like that, this is
Hmm.
actually, I found. Let's go over to this one, this blank one. Let's just put it in a table. Um, us out of here. This area gives you more options to kind of change things and set it up. Um,
Uh-huh.
uh, when I did these before, let's see, what I wanted to show is um, how to change the so you can add this is what I wanted to see. Yeah. So add columns, add rows, makes it really
Oh
easy,
yeah.
right? So if I wanted to add a column and just do, in there, um, so this is right click, uh, you know, um, and adding data is a lot easier. And then you can graph it if you wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Tiny bit since I've done this. I think actually what we want to do is we want to go up to here's
That,
also where you add a bunch of different features to that. Like if you want to change your borders, just like in, PowerPoints. This
uh-huh.
I is a little bit quicker to do and easier to make. The other
Uh-huh.
piece, they have all these setups for how the appearance looks, and then changing colors is really pretty easy to do. Um,
I'm
and
looking for the I'm looking for the link that says add a column or a row.
yeah,
How did you do that?
so when you're in the box, right,
Oh, oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. If you just click this three
Okay, I got it.
right
Yeah.
here,
All right. Okay.
then what I want to do is I want to try to jog my memory on how to create that. I think is it up here? No, that's the same thing. Um, what did I want to see? Let's see. Um, well, I need to look at that a little further. Oh, here. Sorry, this is what I wanted to do. Let's say, so I'm just need to scroll down further. So just kind of going through those, pictures, shapes. Again, you can search for those in the elements up here.
Hmm.
Graphs you can put in. Let's say we want to put a little display there or something like that, like pretty. Um, you can also go down to graphs and charts. Let's say you want to put in some information with this.
Yeah.
Um, let's just delete. I'm making this too busy right now. Let me just get rid of a few things. I'm gonna delete this whole delete table. So let's say we wanted to do a graph. Um, this is pretty cool because it's easy just to change labels real quick. You just double
Yeah.
click, type them, and do that. For the items and how you enter information, is you go down to, um, gosh, I did this a little bit easier last time. And a lot of it, Canva is right clicking and clicking on the header up here and everything. And
Uh-huh.
that's, have a good day. We'll see you soon, okay? Um,
So I have my equivalent of what you have up right now.
yeah,
And if I want to alter it, then I get to copy style, paste, duplicate menu.
yep. The one how I was trying to figure out is so if you double click on the whole graph itself, then it
Oh,
brings you over to this area, and
oh,
you can change
yeah.
your chart. You could do a row chart, a stacked row chart. You could do a pie chart, right? Um, you can click on a donut chart, line chart, area, like a scatter plot, all of these, right? Funnel chart,
Uh-huh.
just a mix, and it's really easy to put in. And then once you've selected, let's just stick with this pie chart. Then you just put in the items like um, and then you can enter the data really quickly,
Yeah,
right?
I see that.
Much quicker than, and so then you can change your labels here, what they look like. Um, you can put in a few items. Uh, and then once you've done that, let's say you want to change the color scheme, it's pretty easy to do. You just kind of click on these color schemes and what you want to put in. If you want to change, again, like I said, the labels going back into that section, you just hit edit up here. Um, so I know I'm moving pretty fast on everything, kind of giving an overview, kind of again putting in shapes and then pictures that you want with that. Scrolling down to the bottom, you can put in those tables. You can do the charts. You can put in other frames,
Uh-huh.
which cool. So this is the one that I wanted to do. That's why I was messing up. Instead of the shapes, you put in a frame here, and
Uh-huh.
then say you want to put in a picture of, let's say, a nurse. So you type in nurse, and it comes up with picture nursing. You just drop that in, and
Yeah.
then you've that, and it's just really quick, right? Because they have all of these stock images and features and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, So it's pretty cool with that. Now, the piece, let's say you want to add some text in here, you can just add a text bar, and then to move it, sometimes it can be a little tricky. I got too many things going on here, but you just type that in, and then you can pick. the default, what type of heading you want, whether big heading, subheading, or
Oh
just
yeah.
body. You can also change the fonts, combinations of kind of what you want, and loading those in. Um, let's get off of this one and let's just go to a new page with that. Um, you can also, draw, write in, or do things that way too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With ref, I was telling you about the stock, or the branding, I should say. So
Yeah.
let's say put in here, and we want that. So let's say we want to keep this slide is the basis of the template, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
We would right click over the slide at the bottom, and we would just duplicate the slide, and now we have the two. Um, uh, and so that's something, for us to maybe consider as far as, all the slides, if we wanted something that just, is a piece there for some of that branding. I have
Yeah.
had,
Can
we
you
have,
can you can you brand all the slides at one time?
you know, I haven't done that yet. I mean, I think what you would do is I wonder if we could create our own basic template, and then that would fall under projects.
Mm-hmm.
I think we go in and do it, um, which is
We
a
we
good
could
idea.
always move the logo or the brand wherever we need it if it
Mhm.
appears on all the slides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, I think you just have to go through and duplicate. The only downside to that is, like what's great is like, you have all these set features, right? So if we
Mm-hmm.
can template and we like the look of these things. Um, so one other thing that I did in the past, so I created this presentation when I was doing for a follow-up. I forgot I was this is the presentation OPHA, right? And
Uh-huh.
so this template that they had, and then I added things in. Now, the other piece of this is these are all saved. So what you can do is we're working in this frame, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I wanted this piece right here. I could just drag and drop this in here, and now it becomes part of this one. Um, if I hopefully it should do it. I should be able to do it that way. Let's see, embed design. I think what we can do is just right click or apply all 30 pages. Let's see. Um, let's try that. No, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to run the tank. I thought you could just do that is drag and drop because you could take from, oh, it did go in here. I just had it in the wrong spot. That's funny. Okay. So let's say I wanted this slide that talks about revenue for the task force. So I'm just going to take and put it in here. Let's see, that should add it. We add it there. Let's see. Yeah. So there it does it there, puts it in. So now it's in here as a part of this. Um, um, the other thing I wanted to show you is um, you can add apps if you wanted. So I had to look, I wanted to find like a QR code
Oh
creator.
yeah.
So I did add those down here for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only unfortunate is I did it once for free and then you had to pay for it. So I didn't use it again. But you can
Oh.
add things that they have. I haven't explored them as much, but there are other tools that you can look for that they have. So one of them, like I said, is like that QR code creator, an image upscaler. They have a bunch of AI platforms of creation. Um,
So this doesn't fall within the subscription that you already paid. You have to pay extra for these.
Yeah, those are additional. Yeah, at least what I found. The other thing that I'm gonna look for it. So design here. Um, let's say you like this deck, right? And but you want to change the deck to something else for a certain slide or something like that. You can go in and change the deck of slides that you like. Um,
Hmm.
if you want to look at this deck, this has this one that I like the look of, right? So
Hmm.
I'm just going to add this one here. And now this drags in. It's now part of my slide deck at the bottom. And I just like this layout, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's go back here. This slide deck looks cool, looks interesting. I like the layout of the ending. So I'm going to add this in. And so that just changed the current slide that I'm on um,
Uh-huh.
to this layout. Um,
Doesn't change the layout for any other slide.
no, it'll only do for that one unless you wanted to apply it for the whole deck. And which
Yeah.
you can say apply to all
Oh
15
yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I
here.
see that. Yeah.
That one. So like this one, I want this to be this, right?
Uh-huh. This is what
Um,
you had. Yeah, you had this for your talk, I think. Didn't you?
let's see. I don't know about that one. Let's try it. Let's actually replace them all. Let's see this. So now I changed the whole slide deck,
Yeah.
this theme, right? Um, uh, and the other thing is this is a really important button.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah, definitely.
if we want to undo kind of what we've done.
Yeah. 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 There's one program I work with that doesn't have that. And it's aggravating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. The other feature, let's say you get your deck. This is also the important thing is this present button up here. And so this is where you go to download it or create it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that was really cool feature that I think we might want to think about using more is to do present and record. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I would practice my speech, my presentation, and I just record myself. And
Oh.
so you have a direct feedback to say, oh, how did I present it that way? Or what I said, what would I want to work on? So people can practice. And for the Speakers Bureau, this would be a good tool for people just to
Oh
run through
yeah.
and then they can directly. So they're speaking to the camera, they're running through their pitch deck, and then they can just get direct feedback on that.
No,
I also
wouldn't you
did,
have wouldn't you
oh, go
have to
ahead.
have a license to do that? I mean,
Nope.
I
Yeah.
will have that, but maybe Bruce Thompson won't.
Yeah, they would have to have that feature. So they have to have our account for that. Or we could share it with them and they start their own Canva account.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they can do it in the free version. That's a good question. Um, that's a good question. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
when I so when you do present this, let's see if we just hit present, this brings it up and then you just kind of roll through and practice that.
Yeah.
Um, The other thing is to share. And so this is where you would download. So the share button up here
Yeah.
is where you would download it.
Yeah.
And put it in a couple of different formats. So you do the drop down menu, and then you can put it
Yeah.
in a PowerPoint. You can put it in a PDF. When I've
Yep.
done I've just converted it to a PowerPoint. You obviously got to check to see that some of the features don't change. If you do a lot of transitions, that can be lost, or if you have a lot of graphics, those can be
Uh-huh.
lost
Hmm.
about. Let's see. Yeah. The one other thing that I found was a really cool feature. and I'm going to toy with this one sec. So let's see. Um, I'm not going to get into too much of like animation and stuff like that, but you can do these transitions.
Yeah,
And
like adding one line at a time, that sort of thing, like you do in PowerPoint.
get a little overwhelmed with some of that, so I don't play with that too much, but that is a tool you can do. And like I said, the transitions in between, you just click on this button here, and that'll add a transition. The one piece that I did like was let's see here one second. Let's see. Um, hold on, I got to get out of this. Okay. Um, is layouts. Um, so when you're under design, um, let's say I'm on this page here. It's taken a while to think. This is nice. I played with this a little bit. So what this is doing is taking this current slide that I'm on here.
Uh-huh.
And what I did is I went to design and I went to layouts.
Yeah,
Now it's giving me a couple options to look the same content, the same paragraph here, same introduction, same similar features to this layout. And it's
yeah.
giving me different options to
Oh
look.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to change it up. I want it to look like this.
Yeah.
Or I want it to look like this.
Yeah.
That was a kind of cool feature because it what I actually did is I took a lot of my slides and tried to simplify them.
Yeah.
Um, and made them where I wanted the focus to be on, maybe I wanted to be on the text, or maybe I wanted to be more on the image,
Yeah.
and allows you a couple ways to do that. And like I said, that's some of the features that I liked about Canva. So, for instance, I did this one,
Yeah.
and I had this as this tiny little small image. Um, but you could see like it's giving me a couple different options of how
Oh,
the
I
layout.
yeah, I see. Yeah.
And so,
How did you find that image? You search for something that gave you this?
yeah, actually here. So if we go into elements here, and what I did is I just typed in revenue, and it gave me a bunch of different options as far as graphics of different things. And then it gave me photos to think through. And
Yeah.
somewhere in here, I think I found this picture of little plants and everything that I kind of liked.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the cool part of Canva is that you could just search, and you can
Uh-huh.
look at all of these different options. They do have videos. I've never done any of those, but that's another tool to do. So like if I wanted to change this image, I could just click on um, what I would do is I would delete this, and then I'd put this over here. Um, and then you can change those pictures in and out. So you can do
Yeah.
photos and put it in. Oh, what actually, here, let me show you. I think I messed that up. What I want to do is put so let's go to all for a sec. I need under um let's go to design here for a sec. Templates. No, that's not what so this is where I need to reorient myself again. So we want to be under elements. Let's get rid of this. So now what I want to do is I want to go down. This is good. I just show you this. Okay. So I got rid of this and I don't have a way to pull it in. So I'm going to put a shape here. I'm going to put a frame is what they
Yeah.
call it. And then what I'm going to go to is now I'm going to go into type in revenue. And now it gives me these. So I can do all, which is graphics, photos, videos. Usually we'll have more stuff at the bottom, but I'm going to just do photos. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to drag and drop that in there. And you can uh, space it and put it in, or maybe I wanted to do it like this. Uh, maybe, whoops. If you drag and drop is what you kind of do. You want
Yeah.
to the
So
box.
you you just dragged one of those blank templates that happens to have clouds and landscape, and
Yeah.
you found that under elements.
Under elements, so you just have to go back. That's why I have to play with this a little bit. And I go down to frames,
Oh, oh,
have grids too, or the other thing. So let's say instead of I wanted this to be a square, um, um, delete frame. I'm going to put in a circle here. And maybe I want it bigger. Maybe I want it smaller. Let's just make it bigger. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to my pictures. And I'm just going to drag and drop. Oh, you got to make sure it falls into the box. If you
yeah,
just click on it, it'll just put it in here.
yeah, uh-huh. Okay, so I'm just doing that on mine.
Yeah.
I put in the basic shape, and now I want to go back and put in a element of some kind, like nurse. Not an element. How do I find a
Yeah.
nurse?
So go up to the box up here
Yeah.
and type in nurse.
Okay, I've got to get out of frames. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
So whenever in doubt, most of the things you're going to be working in is in elements. So you're going
yeah.
to be in this element. So when you're here, then that gives you the option to type in this search function. Um, and then the other key point is click out of there, click out of your search. So if you're in the search, it only gives you these options here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
but if you
See ya.
click out, you clear it, it'll come back and give you shapes, graphics, these polls and
Yeah.
quizzes.
Yeah.
Um, it'll do photos, charts, stickers,
Yeah.
and then frames are at the bottom. It's interesting. This has changed since, and they've had some updates with Canva. Normally, frames
Uh-huh.
and grids were up towards the top.
Yeah.
Um, one other that's kind of interesting is this AI image generator.
Oh,
I didn't play with
yeah.
this much, but if you hit plus on this, now you can type in what you want. So I want a nurse giving or placing an IV.
Okay.
And it'll think and come back with that. It's going to take a while because doing that.
Okay, I'm just doing the same thing, and it's yeah, thinking and
It,
thinking.
yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy. Look at that.
I've got it. Yeah, I get.
I just had a nurse placing an IV.
Yeah, and mine came up with a different set. Well, yeah, different set. So yeah, it would not necessarily be the same for each person, but enough. I mean, very good photos. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like that's not really exactly a nurse giving an IV, but um, you get the idea. So it's like if we were to go back um, two elements and we want to do generate image. I want to, how do I get back up to that? Oh, okay, here, the nurse bottom. So let's say, yeah, um, rubber duck on Mars. It's pretty wild what, AI is doing for things, but I mean,
Oh yeah. Wow.
isn't that crazy?
Oh
So
yeah.
it just makes it up. And so you can really create anything in these.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things that are kind of important. I mean, a lot of it is just playing around. But yeah, elements is the main area, having people choose designs and pick which decks, we want and all that. There's just so many different options as far as the different pitch decks that they did. Um, if we go back to the menu, um, we'll get back to, you can go back to home. It'll take you out of your um, main deck that you're
Yeah.
creating.
Yeah.
And again, this is just the main page. So what I'm hoping is, what we can do is have some basic templates that people could take.
Yeah.
I guess one thing we want to be careful is people don't delete any of the we have, right? We've
Yeah.
got the set. So we just need to be
We're
careful about that. But yeah, I have three main presentations in here now. The one from OPHA. I did one for actually my clinic. I gave a presentation on, and then I did one for SNAP with P&HP students,
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
OHSU students, and that has probably some fairly good content that people could do. But I know you guys have a ton of content that you've been creating. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So that's going to be my challenge is converting that into this nicely designed system where every slide looks like the other, relates to the other in background
mhm.
design.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's going to take a little work.
A lot of tools here, and I do wish I had known how to create that basic template. I wonder if there's a way to do that. So the other thing, Mike, I'll leave you with, and I gotta run here, but is if you just Google or YouTube Canva, this is
Yeah,
how I learned a lot of this stuff. There's a bunch of
yeah.
tutorials online. If you just
Okay.
Canva, basics, Canva transitions, Canva elements. Then it has a lot of tutorials that are out there.